Hello everybody. So today I'm gonna make ribeye steak and mashed potatoes. Everybody knows how to make mashed potatoes, so we're just gonna do this part together and not all the parts. So I'm seasoning. This meat has been patted dry. It's room temperature. It's been out, warming up from being cold for a couple hours so that we can get a good sear on this. And you can hear people buzzing around. That's because our daughter's leaving to go to the compound, and my husband's doing some work over here in the other part of the kitchen. So that's the sounds you hear. We live in an imperfect house. We don't have a set we do this stuff on. So don't ever expect perfection here. And I'm gonna turn on the light so that you guys might get a better view. Oh, let there be light. Okay, so I've got this seasoned. And next up, we're gonna heat our skillet. I'll be frying it in cast iron. So, here we go. I'm gonna turn my gas on to 7 out of 10 and get this skillet heated up. And I'm gonna grab my butter. And my rosemary. Okay. And a pair of tongs. Okay. So a lot of people put salt and pepper on things that they're going to pan fry. I tend not to because I feel like pepper burns and gets like a little bitter taste to it, and I don't want that.
If you're grilling, it'd be fine, but not in that.
Right. Well,
that makes sense. So I like pepper on it, but when I think about it, it's grilled.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna get my spoon ready with my butter on it so that when I go to put the butter in it, I'm ready to go. Do you want it to be well done, medium well?
You think you're that good?
I think I'm that good. We'll see. So,
If they're thin, it'd probably be hard to do them medium. I don't care. They're
okay.
gonna be good. I don't care.
They're gonna be good, he says, so it doesn't matter how long. So you see, this is how I tell heat on almost everything.
As long as they're not rare, everything else is good.
Now my kids love it rare.
Yeah, they like it. They're scared. They don't. They just want it barely stops.
My kids like it to still be almost on the hoof. My husband likes it to be a little more well done, not fresh off the hoof, could still be revived if it needed to be. My kids, some of the steaks that they eat, I think, my gosh, we could get out the AED and probably put that one back on the hoof. Oh goodness. You hear my squeaky door. All right, we're getting close. Not quite there yet. So you want it to be good and hot when you put the steak in the skillet. And some people will put a little something down, but I don't, because I want to get a nice crust on it. So we're just going to do the meat today together, and then the side dish is going to be some mashed potatoes. And you can go back to a different video and find how we make mashed potatoes using our canned potatoes. That job has already been done today, so it's not one that I'm going to share here. And I'm going to back you off a little bit and slant the camera because I don't want you to overheat. And then my phone to start crying at me.
That's the big eye. How's that not hot?
It is hot, but it's just not hot enough just yet. So a lot of people have been really interested in what I was sharing earlier on, let me touch it. Yeah, there we go. On Facebook, I don't even have a Facebook, on Instagram, about operational security. Guys, it's so important that you maintain a level of security and privacy for your family. Not sharing very intimate details for everything that you do, including like tours of your home and your property and structures and things like that. Don't do it. That's fishing at its best. What? I'm not gonna burn them. They're not that hot. So you can see, even though I didn't put any fat in the skillet, this fat is starting to render down, and you can see it in the skillet around. This ribeye will yield up its juices. I don't need to worry about adding fat, and it's going to shrink just ever so slightly probably. And these are hand cut. Mark hand cut them before we packaged them and froze them to the thickness of his liking. So we're just going to do 1 or 2 minutes or 3 minutes on each side about. And I'll show you something else. So if I go to lift this now, right now, it's kind of stuck. I know you can't see it, but I can feel it. In just a minute, it won't be that way. It will come up easier, and I'll be able to turn it over. I'll give it another minute or 2 on the other side. Then I'll add the butter and the rosemary to it. It's so simple. Food does not have to be complicated.
Where's the garlic?
Alright, I'm not putting garlic on it because you don't want garlic to get overcooked. It gets bitter. If you want me to do a garlic clove when I do the rosemary, I will, and then we'll spoon it over. Let me grab a clove.
Seems like somebody should know me.
I do know that you like garlic. I just also know
A contact.
that when you get into garlic, you also have to be careful with it. So don't put garlic on your steak or into your skillet when you first start this process. So I'm just over here, I'm going to barely slice through a little bit of garlic to add when I add the butter and the rosemary. Now, let's see what's going on. Still not quite ready. Let me have a... You gonna hold it? And I'll turn it. Now it's letting go.
Skillet.
Yes. So we'll let this cook for a minute or 2 on this other side before I add the butter. And I'll add the butter actually after I turn the heat off, because I'm not looking to, have a big splatteriness. It will still splatter a little. Yeah. So Mark's changing out my tongs so that I have fresh tongs since the steak will then be done to his liking and not be getting raw meat back on it. It's getting there. And the other thing, you can tell the doneness of your meat by just a little press here and see what comes out. He does not like his to still be bleeding. He wants the juices to be clear. So he likes a fairly well done steak. Which, if you
Medium
ask,
well.
you like medium well?
Yeah,
Which
medium well on it.
if you ask other people, they'll tell you that's a sin against the meat.
Medium well on it. I don't want it well done. I never order it that way.
You don't.
But if it gets that way because that's how it ends up, it's fine.
Okay. It's feeling pretty firm.
It's good to leave. That top is good to leave.
It's gonna be overdone if we.
Get them up, turn it off, do what you do.
All right, I'm gonna do what I do. Because another thing that you should know is that meat continues to cook even after you turn that. We hold that, please.
Oh, hold the skillet. Yeah, okay.
Grab the skillet. Hold on 1 second. So there goes the butter. Next goes King. Next, I'm going to put in the rosemary and the garlic. There's the rosemary. Here comes the garlic. And I'm going to get the butter scented with these herbs. Can I have that hot hand, please?
Is that what you want to do? What do you want to do?
No, I'm going to. Can I have it?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. My helper's having a hard time reading my mind today. I'm just going to spoon this over because I want to get all the flavor into the meat, and it smells so good. Ooh, I got burned.
Gosh, I must do it good.
It's all right.
Well, you're almost done and didn't get burned, so it was about time.
Yeah. So I'm just making sure that all these flavors have an opportunity to get into this steak. Touched it again. I need a longer spoon.
Well, what you do, you have the heat on high, and it's coming around the edges and it's coming right off the flame onto you.
It smells so good.
Yeah.
Thank you, good sir. Aha. Does it smell good to you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there is simple supper. This and mashed potatoes will be his evening meal. All right.
And yes, I will be eating both of those.
You will be eating both of those because I'm not eating meat. So
I will. So.
it'll be okay. And you can see it is done to his liking now. There's no more blood. Now I'm just going to plate it up. All right. So I'm going to let his meat rest. I'm going to spoon some more of this butter over it. Actually, I'm just going to pour it over it. And there we have it. His ribeye for the day. All right, I'm going to go off here and I'll be back on Instagram shortly.